quick. With us right now, we've got Mike Dawson, 6 straight threes at one point tonight. Will Moore, highlight on somebody's head, and a couple more threes. So.
Well, guys, just talk about the win. Obviously, pretty dynamic offense that first half. Kind of allowed you guys to open things up. Just what were you guys seeing out there on the floor?
Really just seeing that they overhelped a lot, and then we just found a way to get our shots to fall finally.
You know, to have this kind of performance after the letdown at Purdue, what does that do for your guys' confidence heading into the weekend to get a rebound win like this?
Go ahead.
I'd say it boosts our confidence for sure. We didn't shoot it great against Purdue. I think it would have been a different game if we did. And we knew we could shoot it like how we did tonight. And when shots are falling, we're a scary team, because they help too far out. We got Nate, Wyatt, lob threats. We got everything. So we're a dangerous team if we're hitting our threes.
Well, Mike, before I jinxed you, but you made 6 in a row. Just talk about that stretch for you because, you obviously had the hot hand. Just talk about what you were going through, on those trips up and down the floor.
Really just letting it go. I mean, I work on shooting threes practically every day. I mean, we have shooting groups before practice, and even after practice, I stay after and get on the gun, and I'll put up at least like 500 shots at least. So I knew eventually I was going to have a good game with shooting. So I'm glad that happened sooner than later.
How about the effort on the glass tonight? Obviously, Nate had pulled down 17 rebounds. I think when you have that kind of dominance, that kind of a dominant player, does that make things easier on the glass?
Yeah, it definitely does. It's crazy that you can expect that from somebody. That's usually a highlight night for somebody, but Nate goes out there.
I'm about to say, that's Nate being Nate. That's what he does practically every game.
Yeah,
so really when we see the 17 rebounds, we don't get surprised because he's been doing that. He averaged a double-double last season, and we expect nothing less of him this season.
Yeah, obviously the Thanksgiving holiday, what are you guys looking forward to about spending some extra time with the team? I know Coach said he was hosting you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good dinner at Coach Corny's house. I think most of the guys are gonna stay and be at his house, but we still got some work to do heading into the weekend against Western Kentucky.
Yep.
What are you looking forward to about that matchup with the Hilltoppers? I know obviously you guys weren't here when that was a Conference USA rivalry, but it's been a fun matchup for these two fan bases.
I've definitely heard it's been a good rivalry game. There's been good matchups throughout the years with Marsh and Western Kentucky, so I'm looking really forward to it for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, Will, for you, I know that. What are you seeing? When I'm talking to fans over there, they're like, "Wow, he can get up! Didn't expect that from him." What are you seeing on plays, and has it been difficult to get that chemistry this early in your career with those guys whenever you're catching lobs and finishing like that?
I think ever since high school, I've worked on shooting, but I've also worked on keeping my athleticism. And when a couple threes go down, they're hedging out, and it made it easy for me to go backdoor. And I had a great pass thrown to me, so it's awesome. I have great teammates who can find me like that. And it's such a blessing, and it's definitely refreshing coming from high school with people who can see that and throw that.
Shout out Zane Mingo on the pass.
Yeah, shout out Zane Mingo.
And Mike, you've been in those shoes before, being a young guy and trying to find your niche. What have you seen from Will the most in his development that's made him so successful this early?
I mean, he's a shooter. I mean, he can shoot the ball. He can get downhill. I mean, there's not really too much I can't say about his game. I mean, just keep working throughout the years. It's gonna be a problem, man.
Will, on the flip side of that, how much does the plays like the one you made open up whenever Mike's on the outside knocking down that many shots? It extends the defense out that much more, doesn't it?
Yeah, when you have somebody hitting threes, as many as Mike did, they're worried about him, which opens stuff up for me. And then on the flip side of your question, Mike D helps me out every practice, every game. I don't think he knows how much I look up to him. So seeing him go off like that, and then his playmaking opening up something from me, it's awesome to see, especially from someone I look up to.
What's it been like going through this year with your brother on the team?
It's awesome. It's awesome. He's gone through injuries his whole basketball career. He really hasn't played a game in 3 years, so he's getting back there. But it's special having him around. Having him, I can just walk to his house. It makes it easier for me, for sure, to have family here.
Just asking really quick, collectively, it felt like the early portion of the game was a little bit tight. Like coming off, I know that you all didn't shoot the way you wanted to at Purdue and things like that. Once that first three goes down, how much of a breath of fresh air, like basically that weight off the shoulders for everybody? It seemed like after that, the energy level just skyrocketed for the team.
I think it's big because we all know that we can shoot the ball. Like I said before, we work on shooting every day in practice. So it's just a matter of when the shots fall, and I'm glad they fell today.
Appreciate y'all.
Sir, thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, John.
Yep, you too.
Thanks. An opening statement from Coach Corny Jackson.
Great team win. I thought we came out as a whole and executed what we were trying to get done. Obviously, we shot the ball pretty well tonight for a change. It's kind of been hit or miss, so happy to see that, but even more happy to see the 19 assists tonight versus 13 turnovers. This team is known nationally for turning people over. And I thought we handled the pressure with composure. And then, like you guys said, when some shots went down, it kind of opened up a lot in the lane. And Nate, 17 rebounds, wow. So, I'm pleased. I'm pleased with the way we played.
When you have that kind of effort from a guy like Nate, how much does that just feed into the energy on both sides of the floor?
Yeah, he's a warrior, We expect that out of Nate. Six offensive rebounds, 17 total. Again, I look and I say, wow, but I'm really not surprised because we see it every day. He's a guy, again, he has a quiet demeanor, but on the court he's loud. If you see Nate in the hallways or outside the basketball court, he's kind of shy. He talks. He'll just laugh. He doesn't say a whole lot. But on the court, he's a different person. So 17 rebounds is really good. 10 points, another double-double. I like the Zane Mingo, had 9 assists, 2 turnovers, so we needed all of them. So, again, man, I can go down the list. Obina started the game out really hot. He was going to have a big night before he got in foul trouble, but he still had a solid night. Would like to see him get more rebounds, but he did have 13 points.
Kind of a really even start on both sides, but then, Mike goes off and hits, a few threes right there before the half. How big were those shots?
It was big, man. I'm glad to see, Mike D finally seeing it going in, I talked to him, I guess 2 days ago, called him to my office and just said, hey, look, take what the defense gives you. Don't really put pressure on yourself. I mean, a lot of people don't realize, man, being back home, right, and playing, I'm sure he has 20 coaches in Huntington telling him how he should be playing. But, again, Mike is a great young man. He's a worker. After we had that conversation, it was 2 days ago, we had a conversation in my office. He came. We looked at it. We conversated about it. I was leaving the office that night and looked in the windows, and Mike D was in here on the gun. So that's what type of person he is. He was on the shooting machine. After practice, after we had the conversation, he was on the shooting machine trying to get it right, and it's obviously good and to see him have some success when he puts the work in. So I'm happy for Mike.
Will gets 10 points tonight. How far does he come as a player in just a few weeks?
I mean, Will's a talented player, man. He's a talented freshman. He can really shoot the basketball. He's 6'7". I don't know what we have him listed at, but he's 6'7", legit. And he shoots a high basketball, right? So he can get his shot off. So, again, Will his thing is going to be he's young, right? So it's a process with him learning. Fortunately for him, he has older guys, Mike D, Jacob, Kay, Nate, Obina. He has a lot of older guys that have been down this road a lot of years. So as long as he keeps absorbing, keeps a positive attitude, stay locked in, then he'll have a good career here in Marshall.
You talked about shooting the ball well. When you come off of a game when you didn't shoot the ball as well as you thought you could, and come out today and shoot it, as well or maybe better in some spots than you thought, how much does that do for confidence moving forward?
Again, I mean, I guess at Purdue, we shot the ball horrible. I may have told you, I liked our looks. We just didn't see him down, right? But I learned, I was here with Coach D'Antoni for 7 years, and I learned to be careful. I heard him in the back of my mind because my personality is I want to address it. I want to address it. I want to boom. But I heard him in the back of my mind saying, gotta be careful about that, because now they'll start thinking about it. So if we would have hit it too hard after the Purdue, Mike Dawson midnight came out and made 6 threes. So I heard him in the back of my head, hey, be careful about that. Be careful. So these guys, I see them put in the work. We shoot every day. Mike has shot the ball really well throughout the year because we have the stats. We have practice stats, and he shot the ball pretty well. So I heard that voice in the back of my head, and I stayed away from it. I stayed away from it, and I did say, hey, look, we need you to play a little better and just take what the game gives you. We don't need to manufacture anything. We have a lot of talented guys. Just take what the game gives you. And I was proud of our whole group, not just Mike. Mike shot the ball really well, but I thought our whole team tonight, the guys that played and the guys that didn't play, I thought our bench brought good energy and stayed locked in. So, again, it's always good to get a win going in Thanksgiving. So now we'll come in tomorrow and watch this film. We'll watch Western, and then we'll go hang out and eat some turkey and chill out.
Western, a game that means a lot to Marshall fans, and of course you coached many of these games, so it should be a lot of fun down at Bowling Green on Saturday.
Yeah, it should be fun. You know what? They're a really good basketball team, well coached. Their coach is their coach from last year left, but they returned 12 starters. Their assistant got the job, Hank. I've been knowing Hank for many years. He was a successful junior college coach. Just watched them play Kentucky the other night. Gave them all they could handle. The game was a lot closer than the score. So they're talented. That's always a fun game. We have our work cut out, but we have to continue to focus on us, continue to get better, continue to get better, continue to get better, continue to grow, and stay together.
When you look at the early part of this game, a lot of fouls called both sides.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times that can make you kind of timid, but I felt like the guys stayed really aggressive and stuck with their game plan. How important is that to do no matter what's going on? To not get passive, especially when y'all are trying to be the aggressive.
Yeah, you know what? We that's one of the things we harp on as a staff. We need to go in games and we need to be the aggressor, defensively, especially hitting the glass, just playing hard. Now, we want to play without fouling. This week we were after we came back from Purdue. Every coach on staff had a whistle calling fouls. Guys were getting mad. Oh, that wasn't a foul. That wasn't a foul. We said, listen, we want you guys playing hard, but we don't want you fouling. Again, man, I'm pleased with the way we came out. I thought we came out a little slow. The zone bothered us a little bit. They're a team, they switch defenses. They'll play the 2-3. They'll play man. They're aggressive. They'll trap. So I thought once we settled into that, how they were going to play and obviously how the game was going to be called, I thought we were fine.
Very good.
Appreciate it, fellas. Thank y'all.